So today we are going to discuss the question set 18 of PDBMS question 6. So over here we have to enter a couple of data into our database that we created. So let me open the database that we created last time. So over here we have created a database called exam marks DB, and we have created 5 tables. So now I'm going to forward engineer this. I'm going to go to database and click forward engineer. Save the database. So we have completed forward engineering. So I can close this now. Alright. So now we can open HDSQL to insert our data. And if I refresh this part. Okay, as you can see, we have our exam mark DB updated over here. So first I have to enter the data in this table to my database. So I'm going to use queries to insert my data. Let's say insert into class table. Class ID and class name. The values are going to be 111A. Let's execute this, and we see this part. We have our data updated. Okay, so immediately I have added the 2 data using queries, using the insert query. Now let's do the second question where it says enter the data into the table below to the student table. So I have to insert into the student table, and columns are going to be next number, first name, last name, gender, and our contact number. And the class name. And the values are going to be STU 001. First name is Southern. Last name is J. Ratna. And the gender is male. The contact number is 0771501231. And the class name is going to be 11A. So I'm going to give the ID as 1. Okay, so let's execute this. And if we see student table over here, we can see that first row is updated. So as you can see, the number 1 is the 11A, and the number 2 ID goes to 11B. So we have the number ID 1. As you can see, I have updated all these data using join queries over here. Alright, so now let's look at the third question where it says enter the data into the table below into the subject table. So I go to the query, and I can change this to the subject table. So I have a subject table there, and change change the column names. So the subject table has subject ID and subject name. I have to change that. Okay, so I have updated the subject ID over here. Now let's include the columns and data. So the subject ID, and then we have subject name, and the values are going to be this value is going to be 1, and the ID is going to be 1, and the first subject is going to be mathematics. And then we have number 2 and number 3. Then we have science and English language and literature. And let's refresh this, and as you can see, this is also updated. Fourth question says enter the data in the table below the exam term table. So let me see the exam term table. So we have term ID, term name, and term date. So we can go to query statement and change all of that. So we have to insert into the exam term table. We have these columns: term ID, term name, and exam date. We have term ID, term name, the values are going to be 1 and first term. This date is going to be. And then I have to take the second term. And the date is going to be July. Give this. Okay, the value is going to be 2. Okay, so I have deleted the first query and I executed the second query. And if we look at the data, we have updated all the data into it. And then we have the fifth question where I paste into the data in the table named student exam mark record table. So let's use query to use that. Okay. So I have to now update the student exam mark record table. And I have to update all these data into it. Let's see how to update, or how to add all these data into the student exam mark record table. So first let's put all the columns over here. So in order to check the columns, I need to go to the student exam mark record table and click data so I can see the columns. So I have student index number, student subject ID, and I can refresh this. Okay, so let's correct that as well. Yes, I have corrected this in using MySQL Workbench, and I synchronized the model to change the database name over here. So by using this, I corrected the spellings, and then I used database and synchronized model to save the changes. So our changes will be seen in the HDSQL. Alright, so now let's insert the data one by one. So first of all, I'm going to insert the first row of this person called Sandhu. So for that, let's go to query and let's put insert into and the table name. And then we have to put the columns. So let me put the columns one by one. So the first column that we have is student index number. So first column is student index number, and the second column is going to be the first name. Do that as well. No, the next column is going to be subject ID. So it's subject ID, and then we have exam term ID, exam term IDs. All these are foreign keys, and then we have the mark. Right, so these are the columns. Now it's time for us to enter the values. So while entering the values, you have to be careful now. So the first value is going to be STU001. The second value is going to be Sandhu. And then the third value is going to be Vijaya. Okay, so now let's enter the values. So the student index number is going to be STU001. And then we have the subject ID. So subject is going to be mathematics, and mathematics has the ID 1. So I'm going to give the ID 1 as the subject. And then we have this exam term ID. So I am going to insert the marks for mathematics for the first term. So the first term has the ID 1. So the next value is also going to be 1. And then I will have to insert the marks for the mathematics subject. Okay. So next I'll have to put the first term marks for mathematics, and that is going to be 50. And then I can execute to see the data. I can refresh this, and as you can see, student 1 has, if I click on this, I'll be able to see the student's name over here. And if I click on this, I'll be able to see the subject name. And if I click on this, I'll be able to see the first term. The mark is 50. Similarly, I can insert the marks for second term for maths. So all I have to do is copy this, paste, and change. So I'm going to erase that. Okay. Then I have to put student number 2 and the second term. It's still for maths. So I'm not going to change the first or the subject ID because it's still maths. But I'm going to change second term marks. So I'm going to change this to 2 to make it second term, and I'm going to put the marks as 44.12. And I'm going to copy this 1, 2, 3, 4 more times. And this time it's going to be 3, this is going to be 4, this is going to be 5, and it's going to be 6. Okay, so I have copied this and pasted over here. So now I am going to change only one part, actually 2 parts. So I'm going to insert, I'm going to delete this. Okay, now I'm going to change only 2 parts of this. I'm going to update the second term marks of the same student for mathematics. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to keep the first term or mathematics, the subject, the ID 1, which is the subject ID as it is, and I'm going to change only the term ID. So that's going to be 2. So that means I'm going to put the mark to the second term, and that mark is going to be 44.12. And then I'm going to copy this statement and paste it 4 more times. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to change the subject ID and the term ID. So this is for mathematics second term. So the second query is for science first term. So science means it has the second ID. So I'm going to change this to 2. And for the first term, I'm going to put this to 1, and I'm going to put the science first term marks over here, which is 85. And then I have the same student of the second term marks for science, which is 95. So it is for the same subject. So the subject is science, and the term is going to be 2 this time because it is the second term. And the marks is going to be 95. Then I have to look at the first term marks for singular literature subject. So I have to change the subject ID to number 3, which represents the singular language and literature. So I'm going to change both of these to 3s. These 2 represents the subject marks for first term and the second term. So the first term means this should be 1 and this should be 2. The first term marks is going to be 78.6, and the second term marks is going to be 78.5. So let's execute this, and if we look at the data and refresh it, okay, so as you can see, we have all the marks of the student whose index number is STU001. So we have mathematics, first term marks, mathematics, second term, science, first term, science, second term, Sinhala, that's first term, Sinhala, second term. So I am going to add all the data into this using this query. Okay, so over here I have inserted all the data into the table using join queries. So if I refresh, you'll be able to see all the data of all the students have been updated. So that's it for question number 18. Let's meet again in question number 19. Thank you for watching.